All right, so here's the project. I acquired this Quincy compressor, and this thing's actually it's 5 horsepower, and it's hard to tell in the video, but this thing is just a monstrosity. But it runs on a 3 phase, and I thought about trying to convert 3 phase, but in the end, I acquired another compressor that has a single phase 1725 RPM motor, which matches this 3 phase. So the project is I'm going to see if I can remove this 3 phase and hook up the single phase and make it run like it's supposed to. And I moved it in here almost successfully. I had my first casualty. This was on a pallet, and somehow it had shifted, and this was stuck under the pallet, and I didn't even realize it. So when I picked the thing up with the forks, so I got to get under there and get that broken piece out, put a new streeter on that. So that's what we're going to be doing. It always seems like it'll be pretty lickety split easy, but it just never seems to go that way. So I'll take you guys along for the ride, and hopefully it goes smooth. First thing, I removed this little piece, just because I stuck the forks in here and I didn't want this to get damaged. So I'll put that back, and then we'll disconnect the motor electrically. I think it may already be disconnected. So yeah, I just got to unbolt this thing and take it out, but I'll have to take the guard off first. So funny thing, right? I run into Tractor Supply, and they got some air compressors there, some stand-up ones, and they got a 5 horsepower Ingersoll Rand. But I mean, it's not like what I would consider to be a traditional Ingersoll Rand. I mean, I think it was 2-stage, but man, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the paint on it, and the casting was all crap, and I don't know. It looked like it was a remanufactured old one. It didn't even look like it was new, and that's what $1,500 gets you, I guess, these days. And how disappointing is that, right? I mean, you go somewhere, you go to a known retailer, you pay $1,500. You think you're going to get something pretty nice, because that's a lot of money. I mean, it is to me. And you just get this turd. I mean, I'm sure it runs fine, but I don't know. I look at that thing, and I look at this, which I mean, new. I think this is like $4,000 or something like that. Of course. I'll just unbolt the head here slightly. No, I won't. All right. Well, the off part's pretty easy. Look at that thing spin, though. That is just smooth. She's nice. Look for this thing on eBay, and at a real good deal. Soon. Ow. All right, so I made a gantry to lift this. Like I said, it's never quite as easy as it should be. This broken piece, I didn't have a big enough easy out, so I drilled it just a little bit smaller than this Torx, which wound up being the sacrifice, and then I hammered this thing in there, and I had enough of a bite that I was able to get it out, and I actually had to use a pretty good bar to spin that thing out, but it worked, and so now we can put a new plug in there and continue on.
I'm not sure how this was set up before, but it looked like a regular 240, 2-pole switch. So I just set it up like you normally would, and I have everything in the shop. I use like a welding plug, and all my equipment's exchangeable, so I only have a couple of plug points, but everything uses the same plug, so it's not all hardwired in, but I can switch from different pieces of equipment because I only have limited power available. So I just set this up, and you'll see I'm putting an end on a welding plug, and normally it'll just sit there plugged in anyway. So that is never what you're hoping for.
So what happened was there was a wire inside here that just had a little nick, and one of the hots was leaning up against the ground, and it shorted. Pow. That's why the lights went out. Alright, sometimes motors have really low winding resistance, and other times they're blown. So let's see which one this is. Alright, so the unloader works. We're going up to, I got it dialed right about where I want, going up to 130. It's coming on at around 90. It works, so that's all good stuff. We'll unplug this thing and then wrap everything up and protect it, and then we'll put it in place. I just want to show you this because it's crazy. The resistance across the windings on this motor is so low that it rings as being connected. Alright, you never really realize how much stuff you have until you gotta get stuff out of the way for other stuff. Wow. Alright, we got this thing all tucked into its Harry Potter position, and I got a hose on it, And we're just ready to see if everything goes like it's supposed to. Should be all set. Very quiet, very nice. And I love it. I got this thing to sell, right? But people didn't want to pay any money for it. And it's better than what I had, even though this is a good compressor. It's an Ingersoll Rand, you know. But it's a 3450 motor, higher RPM, 60 gallon. And this is quieter, more efficient, low RPM. Thing will run forever. So I was forced into using this because people know who Ingersoll Rand is, and this will actually probably sell quicker than the Quincy, even though the Quincy is a better compressor. So, lesson learned. I got a nice compressor, and away we go. It worked. Single phase Toshiba. Hey, I almost forgot the filter. Had to make a little angle adjustment, but it fits right in there.